Hey everybody, Baldoric here. So today what I wanted to talk about is Rebecca's Refine. In my last YouTube video we did a 450 orb summoning on the Altina banner, and something we kind of did during that stream was we talked about Rebecca a lot. In fact, if you look in the icon, there's like a little hidden Rebecca in the background of Altina's swords, because we were like saying that she's basically the worst unit in the game until she gets a Refine, and then maybe she'll perk back up. Lo and behold, a few weeks later, here we are, and she has a weapon refine. So I thought it'd be a fun idea for us to cover that in a video. So what I did here is, in the top right corner of the screen, you're going to see that there is a description of what Rebecca's refine is. This is Rebecca base at 5 stars, level 40, and we're going to talk about some builds that I made for her for Aether Raid specifically. I did light season, but these are obviously interchangeable for different seasons, but you'll see the stats based on what I did for light season. So I have 3 builds that I'm going to be showing. We have like a high invest, standard, your standard close counter, sweeper, and budget. So what I want to do first is we'll go over what the refine is, and then I'll jump into my builds. So first off, the refine has slaying on it right off the bat, with special trigger -1, but it also has the ability that if a bonus is granted on her by like rally, hone, or something to that effect, she gets attack speed, defense resistance +4. So that's really needed because she is like lacking in a lot of her stats, but this helps make up for that big time, and with investment she actually ends up being a pretty solid unit. So let's jump into the first build. So this is a light season, 2 peonies. We're going high invest, so I wanted 2 peonies for this one. And this is obviously a very fast, very strong build for her. Now, as you can see though, with some of these skills, it is extremely high investment. So you have your Swift Sparrow 3, there's like 4 units in the game that have that, like, I forget what her name is, but a couple units have that one. Lull, speed, defense 3. We have attack and speed 03, and we have Swiss Sparrow 2. But what's good about all this, the stats you're going to get from all this is going to make up for any of her lacking stats. You're going to get an absurd amount of attack speed. So let's add this up, right? If attack and speed oath gets off, what is that? That's like, what, 5? Yeah, so you got +5 from that. And then you attack, and you get the bonuses from Swift Sparrow 3 and 2. So that's already a +10. Well, +10 attack, +11 speed, which is really good. Then you get what? So let's do that. +10 attack will put her at 64. +11 speed puts her at 61. Then you add her buffs, and she is going to be at 68 attack. She is going to be at 65 speed, which is already insane. Then you have the lull speed defense oath going off, and she pretty much one-shots anything, and she will double anything she attacks. Issue she's going to run into: she has to kill it in the first hit or she will take a retaliation. She does have good resistance with her bow effect. She's going to have 39 resistance, and she's going to have, what is that, 33 defense, which isn't terrible. It's not bad, but unless she's buffed, it's not fantastic, and she can definitely still die to a lot of the heavy hitters that are out there. Still really solid, really strong. And with 2 peonies on the team, you know she can get buffed by Peony's dance skill, plus she gets to go multiple times, which means that in one turn she could kill 2-3 units, depending on how it works. You put her on a team with like a smite unit, smite her up, she gets buffed from whatever that is, and then she can kill 3 units off the bat. You just have to make sure that there's like Wings of Mercy on the peony or something. Problem though is that she doesn't have advantage. So enemy phase, she is definitely going to be a little bit weaker. You might want to run something that can either get her out of there or something to that effect. Really strong, possibly better on defense than attack, so you might even want to do a Dark Blessing instead. But this is one of the builds that I came up with high investment to be able to pretty much kill anything in the game, double anything in the game. It's really strong. So let's talk about the other build. And I didn't give her the summoner support on this one or anything like that. I just wanted to show standard, close counter, what that looks like. And I mean, if you look at it stat-wise, it's not bad. The problem she runs into, and it's a big one, because even with summoner support, she doesn't have enough HP to dodge panic rooms. And dodging panic rooms is important because if she gets panicked, she's kind of screwed. Her bow makes her really vulnerable to the panic skill. You have to be able to snipe that panic manner if you want to use Rebecca as your close counter sweeper. If you cannot, and if they have panic skills that you can't get rid of before they hit her, excuse me, she's in a lot of trouble. You pretty much need to make sure that she goes in without any panics hitting her if this is going to work. But if she doesn't have any of those, and her support partner is someone like, you know, Red Mail Corin or whatever that can buff her up real good, this build works really well. She can definitely be a solid close counter vantage sweeper. You got something like this, which is fairly standard nowadays with the attack smoke, savage blow, vantage. You can interchange the C slot and the S slot, whatever you want. The A and the B are pretty important. Moonbow, not necessary. I mean, it's a 1 charge. You could also make this Miracle. Miracle would be at 4 charges, which actually 4 charges for Miracle surprisingly works well. And if you pair her with the Dancer with something like Infantry Pulse, it can work. It'll trigger a little bit quicker that way too. Lots of ways this can happen. So a lot of interchangeable stuff here, but you can see, like, stat-wise, it's not bad. It's comparable to a lot of the close counter sweepers that use, like, debuffing moves like Matthew or something. Maybe even Kaguro a little bit, but Kaguro has more attack. But it's a really solid build. It definitely works. You just have to watch out for panic. But the first 2 builds are pretty high invest. I mean, this one isn't as high invest. Like, close counter is a little bit easier to get nowadays. There's like 3 or 4 units that have it now. But it's still not really great for like a full budget build, and maybe you just want to build her for fun. So one of the builds I came up with for budget, the one I want to show, is this one here. And you're not going to see anything too crazy in this build. It's kind of standard. C and S slot are interchangeable, but I recommend the Swift Sparrow S slot. I think that's best for her. It really actually does make up for a lot of her stat faults. So if we look, Fury 3 puts her already at a pretty solid base. With Rebecca's bow going off, she's going to have 59 attack, 51 speed, 34 defense, 45 resistance, if she gets that. She will be in Desperation range after using Fury 3, so first attack, then she's in Desperation range, which is awesome. She's going to have a 1 charge Moonbow. Swift Sparrow's going to make her attack even more. So if she has buff, she's going to get +8 to attack and speed, which makes her attack go to 63, and her speed is going to go to 55, which is going to double just about everything minus like crazy buffs. And paired with a correct support partner, again, like something like Red Mail Corin, it will work really well. So, even on a budget, she does work good. I think, and let me actually, I should mention that this particular build is with Peony and Ear on the same team, because I built these all for light season, so I chose the budget options for your Mythic Heroes, because you can get a free Ear and a free Peony, so everyone should most likely have that. Now, if she becomes a bonus unit one season, then she becomes even more powerful. And I think because she got a refine, we're probably likely to see her as a bonus unit relatively soon in the future. I don't think anytime like immediately soon, but soon. Depends on how many new units we get and how many times they rotate the heroes. But she could definitely become a bonus unit, whether it's Aether Raids or Arenas. So, she is strong, her refine is good, but it has a big glaring weakness to panic. So again, in conclusion to this, she is a good unit. I think any of these builds will work. You can change these up with anything that you see fit. These are just the ones that I thought were good, like a solid budget build and 2 high invest builds that I think are pretty standard for most bow users. You could also sub something if you didn't want to use her bow, and I don't have a build here so I can't show it, but doing something fire sweep. She does work pretty good as a fire sweeper, but not great. I would still try to use her bow, but if you really don't like having to deal with panic as a thing, you could always go something like Fire Sweep or Brave Bow Plus. but I recommend using her bow. I think it's the best way to give her the stats she needs. Just watch out for panic. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please throw a subscribe. We're going to be doing more videos like this in the future. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, which are at the top of my channel if you click on the link to my channel. And I'll be posting a lot more there, or rather streaming a lot more there, posting more on here, posting more on Twitter, etc. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you at all, and I hope I see you next time.